Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am answering more of your questions, but I decided to do it in a little bit of a different way. First of all, I've decided apparently to go with this terrifying lighting that is not lighting my face at all. Alright, that angle is not the best, but the lighting is better. Today I'll be answering your guys' questions, but I'm going to be doing it in an interesting way. A lot of my videos cut around a little bit, and this is just mainly to cut out my pauses, cut out my thinking periods like that. And so for the rest of this video, I am going to stop doing that. I genuinely do that to hopefully make the shortest video possible. I always worry about the time. I don't want to drag on too long, but sometimes when I watch back, it almost seems unnatural sometimes. So I'm going to be going for a slightly more natural approach with this video. So, yeah, it is a very rainy October night. Let me see if you can get some ASMR sounds here. I hope that worked for you. I hope it was good for you as well. So I'll be answering your guys' questions that you left on my video. I will randomly post these videos. I will just say, hey, ask me questions, and they'll only be up for an hour or two. I'll get enough questions, and then I'll delete the video. So just keep the bell notification on, whatever. So first one is from Edwin, and he asks, what do you think of OEM FC radios, especially the ones that had the equalizer option? I don't know if I've ever used a stock FC radio. My FC did not have a radio. My FB did not have a working radio, and this FB that the camera is mounted on does not have a working radio either. It's 80s electronics. I wouldn't trust it too much. Honestly, I would swap for a better head unit. Pretty much everyone that has an FC does. If you want to keep it super stock, super simple, that's fine. But I don't know. 80s electronics, when it comes to that stuff, I usually swap out. Kiros Wright says, any more Mazda reviews in the future? Yes, as of this video coming out, I for sure have a Mazda CX-9. See, that would normally get edited out, but not today, baby. You're getting the full brute of that. I have a 2015 Mazda CX-9 video coming out. It's a Grand Touring, which is kind of interesting. It's the last year of Ford ownership, so it has the Ford 3.7-liter V6 in it, which I actually enjoyed. I really enjoyed. And then I also have a Turbo NB Miata coming out, which is owned by Patty Boy here on YouTube. I just went out of that. Patty Boy on YouTube, go look it up. I will be reviewing, or I already reviewed that Turbo Miata, and it'll be coming out next week on next Friday. So not this coming Friday, but a week from this coming Friday. And hopefully, as of the recording of this video, is before I left for a long southern trip. And hopefully, I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm reviewing some cool cars down there. So hopefully there. Nice person asks, is there still a future for gas cars in these times where nations seem to push for the idea of electric cars? I think the gas car has a little bit more to go, but not much. I think EVs and hybrids are going to start taking over. I think the gas car really has about 10 more years to be interesting and cool. However, there are a couple companies. There's an airliner that is working on a synthetic gasoline, as well as Porsche is actually working on a synthetic gasoline substitute. So it'll be interesting. I honestly think that the electric cars could be a fad, even though it's a fad across the board. Fad meaning just sort of like a blip, sort of something that's really popular and then burns out. I think if there's a synthetic gasoline that comes out, I think that would be a lot more beneficial. Christian Gonzalez asks, what is the quietest non-luxury cars that you've reviewed? Also, could you maybe mention NVH quality of cars in future reviews, like especially the sound deadening? I know a lot of it will be subjective to your experience, but I would still love to hear how quiet, comfy cars in your experience? Okay, so that's interesting. And I've always wanted to do something with cabin space. There's a lot of metrics that I wish I could grab, but the hardest thing about them is I'm filming in a lot of different conditions, which makes it hard. For instance, I toyed with the idea of possibly doing a heated seat test where I would make a graph, and every car that has heated seats that I would review, I would put on that graph how hot the heated seats got in Fahrenheit and Celsius. So then I could be like, oh, the CX-5 only goes up to 90 degrees, but the Subaru Impreza goes up to 100 degrees for the heated seats. I really wanted to do that. I really did. However, my girlfriend, who is way smarter than me and studying she's studying a form of science, and she's very, very smart. And she said, how would you control the variables of ambient air temperature surrounding the seat, the time of year? Sometimes I film cars in negative 10-degree temperatures. Sometimes I'm filming them when it's 105 degrees. How would I control that? And I sat there. I was driving my Mazda 3. I was driving her to Walmart at the time. And I said, I can't really control that. So getting back to it, sound deadening. That would be hard to measure. I guess I could do a decibel meter, but again, sometimes I review cars on roads that are pothole ridden, and sometimes I'm out on the test track, which is perfect, or a racetrack, or, it's hard to set a baseline and work from there. Quietest cars, I really do like the sound deadening in my Mazda 3. However, it's not super premium, but it's better than I think a lot of other cars. Most luxury Lexus is pretty good. I haven't driven many modern Acuras. They're just not really as popular in my area. Geez. Yeah, I don't really pay too much attention to it. It's always like lowered cars. 90s cars are always way worse. Convertibles, even with a top up, is always way worse. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really pay too much attention to sound deadening. So that's actually a good question. I do need to do that more. Let's see here. The Golden Folder Treatment said, will you do a Z31 video? Eventually. Like I always say, Garrett, who owns that Z31 that I've been doing videos with for years, close friend, by the way, he actually moved up to Michigan. I live in Chicago. So, Illinois. We don't really see each other all that much. When we do see each other, he came to Final Bout. He was in the Final Bout vlog. When I do see him, we're usually not focused on that. But hopefully next year I will get up to Detroit for reviews, and we could do a Z video then. Veggieman Studios says, what are your top 5 favorite cars that you've reviewed? The 200ZS always comes to mind, which actually, again, came to mind because the day I'm recording this, a couple of weeks back now when the video comes out, Regular Car Reviews actually reviewed the exact ZS, 200ZS that I reviewed, which is really cool. Same owner, Joe. I drove that exact car before Regular Car Reviews did, which is really cool. Also, the Lamborghini Huracan, which, funny enough, was 2 or 3 days before the 200ZS. So that was a good week, I guess. It was just cool to knock a Lamborghini off my list. The cool, rare Japanese cars that I've reviewed, the K cars, always stick out to me. The cool swapped cars that I do. I mean, it's really hard. At this current point, I've filmed over 640 cars. It's hard to quantify that. My brother said, "What do you want for Christmas?" And can you text me a link? I don't really know what I want for Christmas. I don't know. Sorry, Nick. Moving on. Hope you guys are enjoying this no editing life. Tom Mitchell. Shout out to Tom. Cool cars. How would you rank the big 4 pizza chains? Pizza Hut, Domino's, Papa John's, and Little Caesars. Little insider baseball for you. The Turbo Miata review that's coming out, the NB Turbo Miata. Patty Boy, we actually ordered Domino's after that shoot, and we hung around and we played Super Smash Bros. On the GameCube. Super Smash Bros. Melee. We played a little bit of Need for Speed Underground on GameCube and a little bit of James Bond Nightfire, 007 Nightfire, and 8 Domino's. So Domino's is definitely number one. Then I'm going with Little Caesars. Hot and Ready has gotten me through a lot of rough points in my life. And then Pizza Hut, and then Papa John's is at the bottom because I think Papa John, the guy, is one of the weirdest people on earth. Again, Tom Mitchell, what car do you think is extremely overrated? Oh, boy. You know what? This is going to anger a lot of people. The FD-RX-7. I love it. The FD-RX-7 is an amazing car. Fabulous. But people think it's this brutal, fast, aggressive car. It's not. It's ridiculously, in stock form, it's ridiculously smooth. It's quiet. It's silky. And it's quick, you know? And it's not what people think. A lot of the cars like that. The NSX is like that. The Mark III Supra I drove was like that. So, I don't know. The other thing that I don't really think many cars are overrated because it's like it's all self-assessment. I don't know. Maybe that's too meta. Marcus asks, do you have any opinion on engine swapping an MX-5 NA with a 12A or 13B, especially as a project car? Do not do a 12A. Do not swap a 12A into your Miata. A 13B Miata would be sick. Fuel injected. I would just recommend fuel injection, honestly. But, I mean, you could do a carb 13B. It's like ITBs and stuff. But, like, here's the thing. And here's why I swapped my car, which I'm actually using as a tripod, to a 13B. And that is parts availability. You cannot find parts for 12As anymore because it's just so old, but because the FC and FD and later years of the FB have such a following, and the RX-8 still continued the 13B, although it was a Renesis and different, blah, blah, blah. Some parts are shared. So the 13B has a lot better aftermarket support. So, plus you're going to get, it's a bigger motor. You're going to get more power out of it. Just don't Renesis swap it. Do an REW or a Turbo 2 engine, S5, S4, whatever. TK's Garage. Thoughts on late 90s, early 2000s NA Subarus. They're fine. I mean, they're fine. They're slow. They are slow. They do feel kind of gutless, but the vehicles that Subaru was making at that time, like the Legacy and the Outback and the Forester, I don't know if they made I think they made an NA Impreza, yeah. They're great cars. It's just the NA motors are slow. I prefer turbos, but again, the actual chassis they were making, the first gen Forester is still like a halo car to me. I still want one. Michael Christensen asks, saw your final bout video. Seems like there are quite a lot of A31 Safiro Nissans out there in America. Will you possibly make a video on one in the future? Now, this is a question I get a lot, and some people, not recently actually, have been emailing me personally saying, hey, can you review this car? Yes, I can. If I have the opportunity to film one, I can. That's really the only barrier for me reviewing cars. I want to review everything, good, bad, and ugly. Even if everyone tells me this car is terrible, I want to first-handedly tell you that it's terrible. I don't want to just say, oh, it's a terrible. I would never not review a car because everyone's like, oh, this is terrible. And I'd be like, nah, then I don't want to do it. I want to review the terrible cars because I want to tell you personally that they're terrible. That being said, the A31 Safiro, I think, Cefiro, I was actually all set up to review one. And I think the radiator support fell out of it. I think that's something like that. Anyway, If I get the opportunity, I'd love to. I think those cars are super interesting. They're unique. I don't know much about them, and so I treat most reviews as a learning experience for myself as well, because I get to dive into the research, as well as I get to talk to the owners. That's a big part of when I do reviews, is actually sitting down and talking to the owners as well, because obviously they've had these vehicles for years and years and years, and they have an encyclopedia knowledge themselves. Most recently, I reviewed a 1982 Ford LTD-S and a 1988 Lincoln. 1988. See, I would edit all this stuff out. 1988 Mercury Colony Park. And the owner, John, had, maybe, I think probably 10 cars. And 8 of those 10 cars were all 71 to 88 Fords, Dodges. He had like a Chrysler New Yorker. And so I sat there and talked to him for like probably 2 hours after the reviews. And I learned a lot about the R-body Chryslers and things like that, and differences between Ford years. And so that's a big part of it. So I'd love to sit down and talk to someone about the A31, what makes it unique, and how is that different from a Gloria? How is that different from the Nissan Cedric? So yeah, I would love to film one if I ever had the opportunity. I have seen a couple around, but so far no owner has approached me. So that's how that bird flies. Lil Boogers, nice name. Lil Boogers said, would 2JZ swapping a 1983 Toyota Corolla station wagon be worth it? That is all up to you, my friend. That would be a cool build. Like, that would be really, really cool. The 83 Corolla, I think, is the TE72. And those are sick. I love them. I reviewed one, but with 2 different engines, with a rotary and the stock 1.8. I love the chassis. I love the car. I love the look. But in terms of it being worth it, you have to figure out if all of that work is worth it to you. Would it be cool? Yes, but, Lil Boogers also asks, any tips when driving in the snow with a rear-wheel drive 37-year-old car? Just be ready to slide, I guess. You could put sand in the back, but it sounds like you have a Corolla, so put it inside of a bag before you do that. But yeah, I daily drove my RX-7 through a winter, and honestly, it wasn't bad. I would try to fit skinnier wheels. Or actually, okay, I do have one tip. Get winter tires. That's it. They're expensive, but it is worth every penny. Retro Steven said, Zach, are you going to carve a pumpkin for Halloween video and then smash it with a car once it's rotted to make a great short? That would be funny. That would be cool. However, kind of wasteful of a good pumpkin. And I actually did do a pumpkin this year with my girlfriend. We Sharpied it instead of carving it, so the pumpkin would actually last longer, which I would go run and get, but it's raining outside. And again, I'm not editing this video, so not going to do that. But basically, I just Sharpied a face onto a pumpkin. You know what? I'll go do it. Hang out, I guess. All right. So, this is my girlfriend's side. She drew this one. I think it's kind of basic. So I did this one. I gave him glasses. He's a little nerd, And then she did that little smiley face on the side. So that's my pumpkin this year. Happy Halloween, guys. But yeah, I wouldn't smash it. I just think it's wasteful, and it'd be a fun video, I guess, but I don't know. I do want to do something spooky, though. I don't quite have my Halloween plans yet, but hopefully. All right, last page of questions. Lil Boogers again. What's your opinions on a gasser rotary RX-7 if it were a thing? Gasser meaning that like lifted suspension, like 50s cars. Could be cool. Not my cup of tea.
Well, I think they're cool, but not for RX-7s because RX-7s are really good at handling and. Excuse me. Feels like a. Ooh, okay. Whew. Again, no editing. It'd be cool. I just personally love the handling of RX-7s, so I don't know why you would want to mess that up too much. Carrie says, so I recently got a 2018 Camry XSE V6 with 20,000 miles on it. My question is, have you driven it, and what is your opinion on it? Also, I love your videos. They're always entertaining. Thank you. I have driven a Camry V6. I don't remember if it was an XSE. However, I like them. They don't... How can I phrase this? They're not the most exciting things in the world. Like when I am told I am... Well, not told. No one tells me what to drive. When I schedule a Camry to drive for myself, I don't jump around with joy, but I know what I'm getting into. There's no surprises with a Camry. They're very good daily drivers. They've been the golden standard for years and years and years. And the V6s are good. I would definitely prefer a V6 over the inline 4, which is a 2.5. Lil Boogers is all up in these comments. Lil Boogers, how's life, bro, and how's your RX-7? Good. I took it to a memorial service tonight for a friend who passed a year ago. Drove it in the rain. The windshield wipers do not work, but it actually did great. I had no traction in first gear when I pulled off from a light. Put it into second, no traction. Put it into third, no traction. And I actually started a fishtail, so that was super sick. But other than that, car's been great. I've been driving it, really enjoying it, trying to enjoy it before this weather turns too sour. Low Boogers yet again. I saw you did a Mark III Supra that I suggested before, so thanks for that. Would you ever consider having a street-legal 4-rotor RX-7 drag car? People have asked me this before. Would you ever consider 4-rotor swapping it? And I think every RX-7 person has. But I also have to consider, do I have $100,000 to put into it? And that answer is no, I don't. So that will not be happening. 4 rotors for the block alone is usually about $40,000. There's a shop out in Ohio, Defined Auto Works, that has built a couple of them, and that's about the going price, $45,000 for just the motor. We're not talking intake, we're not talking exhaust, we're not talking nothing. The motor. So yeah, that would be cool. But that would be really cool. Oh, by the way, I'm sure, Lil Boogers, that you commented, hey, can you do a Mark III Supra? That's not why I did a Mark III Supra. It was offered to me, and I've always wanted to do one. Just saying. Anyway, last but not least, from the Sock Monkey, our good friend David, what automotive YouTubers have you not met that you would like to? Well, I haven't met many, actually. So my goal is to just meet more and collaborate, because it's like the closest thing I'll really have to coworkers in this job, in this line of work. I mean, I'd love to meet Brian from Regular Car Reviews and Nick. Nick and I are actually friends on Facebook, the Roman, which is really cool. And he posts like the most wholesome stuff ever. But I'd like to meet the Regular Car Reviews guys. I would like to meet Matt Farah from The Smoking Tire. I would like to meet Doug, of course. I'd like to meet Hoovies. And just kind of pick their brain. I'm not saying I have to be best friends with these people, but figure out how they have become successful and try to interpret that into my own way, I guess. Is that the right way to say that? I don't know. Again, this would all be edited out, but you're getting the raw Zach today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, whether you were working out or folding laundry or doing homework or whatever else people do while watching videos. I am very bad at not multitasking, if that makes sense. I sit and I watch shows with my girlfriend, and that's the only time that I'm watching a show and not doing anything else. I watch a lot of TV, I watch a lot of movies, I watch a lot of YouTube, but it's all while I'm working at my desk. I have a second monitor that's just playing whatever. So I hope that you did the same with this video. I hope you didn't just sit down and stare at my face this whole time. But if you did, I hope it was, oh jeez, almost fell over. I hope it was worth it, because you're worth it. Yeah, that's my closing message. Today was a hard day in my life. I lost a friend a year ago in a motorcycle accident. So we did a memorial thing, and I drove the RX-7 because I remember when I bought the RX-7, he was super stoked to see it, and unfortunately, I never finished it before he passed. So that was rewarding. So if I could close with anything, if you've made it this far, we're at 26 minutes. I guess my closing statement would just be text someone that, just text someone that you're close to and just say that you appreciate them. You don't have to get ooey gooey, but you never know when it's going to be your last day seeing them. And that's what I wish I could have done. I wish I would have known, would have expressed it a little bit more, because I feel like our friendship kind of left some stuff up in the air. Not bad stuff, but oh no. It's really raining now outside. So I will leave you guys with that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, I always like doing this. If you made it this far, what should I do? If I made it, or if you made it this far, leave a comment containing the word cheesecake. You don't have to comment just the word cheesecake, but comment just, I had good cheesecake today, or man, I'm craving some cheesecake, or have you guys tried New York style cheesecake? Leave a cheesecake comment. That'll show me that you watched this far. I mean, YouTube analytics will tell me if you did or didn't. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I am deeply appreciative of everyone that does, because I get to play pretend as a YouTuber. This is my full-time job. Man, I'm losing my mind. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.